Hello and welcome to GH Dirty Deeds. This is a race talk edition. I'm James Lott Jr., JLJ of JLJ Media. Say that 5 times fast. I can't. We're here and we're bringing you another episode. It's our first time live doing this show. We're here to talk about, well, firstly, kind of racial issues regarding General Hospital, but actually all the shows that's going on. We have 4 soap operas, and there's issues on every soap opera. And we want to have a big, lively discussion. Before we get to what exactly we're going to talk about, I have 2 people to do it with, and 2 people I trust completely that I wouldn't want to do with anybody else. And that, of course, is Walker Ragsdale. He's out of retirement. Those of you who love him on the Daytime Emmy specials, which Daytime Emmys, so he's here with us. I'm like, Daytime Emmys, anything happening? We have no idea. Okay.
Nothing.
And of course, the queen of Kumbaya, Miss Candice Mack.
Not the Kumbaya.
The Kumbaya of really?
You love the soaps. You know,
I love the soaps, and with this show particular,
Yes, it is a soap bonanza. So, everybody, welcome to the show. We are here. This is JLJ. It's your first time looking at me. Hi. I see folks in here. Please come to the chat room. Chat room is open. I want to make sure I say this completely. The chat is also a safe space to have your opinions and feel what you feel and want to express them. If there is any name calling or bullying, I will tell you off first and then take you out of the chat. I say that. We're not going to do that. It's a safe space. I know that the subject can be triggering for some people. I know the subject can be very personal for some people. We take our soaps very personally because we watch them every day. And so I want to make sure this is a space that we can all talk. Same goes to my co-host. Three of us are going to talk freely and openly and honestly because we also are Black folks, but we also are in the business. So we're going to give you several perspectives about this and and talk about this openly. So I just want to make sure in the chat, you're allowed to come in, join us, please. You'll have opinions, please share with them. I'll read some online, read some live, have some opinions. But if any name calling or bullying happens, I know I will not tolerate that. That's just not going to happen here on JLJ Media. Okay. I want to start this off with just saying thank you to as you guys are coming in, people are coming in. Wow, 38 people already. I guess you're coming in. I just want to tell you, thank you so much for the kind words you said to me about my shows that I did earlier this week. I went to bed on Sunday like a regular person, woke up the next day, and I know I went viral for my outspokenness when it comes to race. I started this whole journey 8 years ago on AfterBuzz TV. We did something that we carried on there was that our shows are about friends who sit around and talk about their shows. And, in your friendships, you talk about everything usually if you have good friendships. And so we always break down everything when it comes to our shows. And we have continued to do that even on our own. My chocolate twin, Tony Moore, does that on Audition Days on his channel. And on my channel, myself and Frank Moran always give you our real takes on everything we feel.
Especially Frank.
Especially Frank.
Frank
and his emails.
And his emails, right? His emails. So we do, and Frank is an ally, and Frank is my friend, and I call my work husband. I've worked with him the most since this whole time, so we do that. But as you know, I do also a monthly race chat on my Extra Connections every single month. So I do this every month, not just once in a while. My history is out there about when I talked about race talks, sexual orientation talks. Also, and I have a new podcast called A Black Guy and a White Guy Confront. And every week, me and my friend talk about different subjects. So I always am opening the door to having the conversations that are tough sometimes, especially when it comes to television. Now, I'm seeing all these new people in here. Please make sure you subscribe, and everything.
Sprina Nation is showing up here tonight.
Yeah.
Well, I would give Sprina Nation also a smile shout out to because last year when I was attacked for several things, Sprina Nation was on my side. So I just want to say, Sprina Nation, thank you for being on my side. Saber Tri's Tigers and the Hardys and the Lotties, you guys were on my side, but Sprina Nation was on my side. So I just want to thank you for that too. Say that out loud. But they are showing up and showing. We're going to show out. I love it. But make sure you like my channel, folks. If you ain't liked it, this is a business and support Black business, folks. But if you did miss the episodes that I did, it's my GHB Spotlight from last Sunday and my Daytime Today from last Monday. So make sure you check those both out where I talk plainly about this stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. And actually, I'm gonna let we're gonna start off with Walker. Walker actually came to me and said, "I want to have this discussion." So, what are our opening remarks, Walker?
Well, first, I want to thank you, James, for putting this together, because the Discord this week, especially this past week, maybe 2 weeks, has been getting very heavy online. I think most people know I'm not a huge Sprina fan, but I respect the characters, I respect the actors, and I love the fan base. Those are some of the most passionate, patient women, and I hate seeing good people upset and hurt. So, and there's a lot of discord going on, and I just felt that we did need to have a real, frank, honest discussion about it.
Yes, I've been saying this all over and over again. I always, no matter what, will I support everybody. However, I will always support people of color, especially, and Black folks. My record stands on that also, and especially my Black women. My Black women are my sisters, my mothers, my daughters, most of them.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, James. Right now, I'm about to cry. I'm about to cry.
I do. But we need to calm down a little bit and just have an honest discussion. That's all about this. I didn't expect myself to get so emotional about that, but I just do. And a lot of folks really take these shows seriously. They help them through tough times. We've had a crazy 3 or 4 years. And for a lot of people, it's something that's serious for them. And they've invested time. And Walker and I have met Tabiana. We have met her mother. And for me to see her mom so excited about her daughter, I've met Sidney Michaela, who played her previously. And she's a wonderful young girl. And I just was like, we just want the same opportunities. So we'll get to all that. So I guess we should just start off with literally what I said and kind of go from there. What I basically did was highlight what I felt. Again, I don't write the show. I'm not part of the show, but I do know how things kind of work sometimes. And I just know for a fact when the Trina character came on, I think she was brought on at first as an add-on character to the leads. So I want to start there. So I just feel like that's originally how but then the people love the character, they love the actress, and on TV that happens, it expands. So I want to get your idea. I want both of you guys' ideas about this. My thoughts about that. Do you guys agree, disagree, have feelings about that?
Let the lady go first.
Okay.
I definitely agree that Trina was brought on to be the best friend of, let's just say it. She was the best friend of Jocelyn. She was another member of the young core that General Hospital desperately needed. My God, they desperately needed. And like you said, as time went on, and they also moved the character around from not only the teen scene, but with Ava, even the Quartermains at points, and because of that, you got to see this character, like you got to know who she was before it was revealed she was Taggart's daughter. But even with that, it was a welcoming response from the fans.
Oh yeah.
And like you said, the fans, when the shows decide to do it, they listen to the fans. And they're like, okay, we have somebody that is, being very well responded from the audience. So I definitely agree with that.
Walker?
Yeah, no, Candice say the key word, when they want to do it. And I think that's what people need to understand. These writers don't see the show the same way the fans see the show.
Nope.
When they're writing these things, they don't think that they're writing bad stuff. They're not thinking they're writing stuff to get the show canceled. They are thinking that they are telling stories. We all can admit that there has been a shift end the storyline, and you have to be blind, ignorant, or just don't want to see it to admitting that there's a shift, and then everything else that we're going to discuss later are two different things. There definitely is a shift in the story. But going back, she was a character that the show did decide to develop. They decided to give her a mom. They decided to put her, tie her to the history of the show with Taggart. They, they slowly started to build out and flesh out the character and her family, which is something that's for a Black character never happens. Even for new characters, a new character comes to town, you don't always get a mom, a dad, like those by itself are things that, looking at GH, there's maybe 10 people on that show that are new characters that did not get that same treatment. So it was amazing to see, and I think that was part of the reason people fell in love with the character.
And Cindy Michaela was such a bright spot. She's a bright actress. She was a bright actress, and I think it helped us fall in love with her on some level because it was full of promise.
Yeah.
We were like, okay, because Christophe St. John, the late Christophe St. John, I miss him all the time, said to me one time, when he first got an office on Y&R, that was a big deal. Because you guys understand, they don't just build sets for anybody.
No.
But to build a set for a Black character that was a business set back in the 90s, that was a big deal. And he knew, they're investing in me on something. So it's kind of like, I look at this one going, okay, so Cindy Michaela comes on as Trina. She's not just relegated just as this little side character that comes on every once in a while, because she could easily went off to the wayside. They could easily just went off to the wayside, but someone saw something in her that said, okay, here we go. Well, I mean, Terry, not every. I mean, there are characters who don't. We're just saying in general, there are people who don't get families right away. I mean, there's some that do and some that don't. It's one of those kind of things that some do and some don't. But for her, it was kind of good because she's a young Black woman getting a family and getting characters. We hadn't seen that. Well, when did we see that last? On GH, Keisha, Gia. I don't know. I forget who were the.
I mean, Keisha. Let me see. I think Keisha was already like the Ward family was already established.
Yeah.
Right.
With Keisha.
But
but this is like the flip side. This is the flip side of where you had a new character. And see, this is the problem, General Hospital, and I really, because everybody knows this is my issue. When you bring on a character, you're supposed to let them breathe. Let them walk. Let's see what they can do as individuals. Then down the line, you tie them to a family, or it's a hit or miss right now with General Hospital, because there's some characters that I'm like, y'all didn't have no clue what y'all was doing. So y'all just went ahead and tied them to this family because we was going to be invested. Yes. But with Trina, they let her walk. They let her breathe. She interacted with other people before you went ahead and said, guess what, folks? She's Taggart's kid. Because it was almost 6 months, maybe a little bit longer than that, before we found out she was Taggart. It was like, oh, okay. Yes. But we already was invested in Trina. That was the thing. We was invested with her and Cameron. We was her, Joss, her and Ava and the art gallery. We was already invested. You developed this character, and then you said, guess what? Who she's related to? Taggart. And we all know Taggart. 30 years, we known Taggart. Right. So yeah.
But we got to like Trina. That's the whole point. We're like, we like her.
Yeah.
Like everybody was like, okay, we like her. This is great. So it's, again, full of promise. So she's part of the teen scene. Okay. It was right. It was right writing RNT. It was a nice surprise. It was a nice surprise. Like, okay. It was a nice surprise completely. So I just want to start there. So we start there.
Right.
Now, okay, I'm going to say this, folks. Eden McCoy is my friend. I am friends with her and her family. Been friends for years. To me, she has earned her place on General Hospital. She's been on all these years. She's part of a legacy character, several legacy characters. So I wish people would stop attacking her because she's not writing the show. She's an actress doing her job. But on soap opera, they usually build from a legacy character, they build around them.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to make that just kind of, people are attacking her. It's like, well, she doesn't do it anyway. But she does have her place on the show. Whether you like the character or not, she is a legacy character, and they usually build around that. So characters like Dev that came on, Oscar, all of them, they all were around. Cameron's legacy character, Josh's legacy character, Spencer's a legacy character. Those are their legacy characters. So they build around there. And that's the point. So again, I'll always defend Eden because she did not do anything wrong, and she actually supports the characters of Sprina publicly and everything. So, but my thing is, you have to go from soap opera, just soap opera world. That's a lot of times how they build. Correct? Am I wrong on that end? They usually build from that.
They usually do that.
Yeah.
They usually do that. Yeah.
They usually build. Okay. So we have that going on. Now, here's where I start having some problems. This is why I started seeing stuff. And I got flack for this when I brought it up, which I like to smile and say it now because I always have flack for this. I thought, I saw something in the character of Trina and the actor. I thought it was kind of cute. So you guys I don't even know. Did they really chem test her with Cameron enough or no? I'm trying to feel like that's why it starts getting murky. They really didn't, did they?
There was definitely a flirtation.
Yeah. It was a friendship flirtation, like, because they went through a lot together.
Right.
Like the kidnapping and everything.
Right.
So they was building a deep connection between those two characters versus, and I'll say it, Joss and Karen. And I think that's where it was like a little bit like, okay, where are we going at with this? Because I was like, I was under the impression I was going to get a pairing. Like at that time, I was like, are they chem testing those two to be a thing? Or is this just a deep friendship? So like how Elizabeth and Nicholas was back in the day before they hooked up. Yeah. Like just having a deep connection, a deep friendship. And that's where I was at with them.
And Sydney and Will had really good chemistry.
I thought so.
And I think that to me, that's what made me, I was like, oh, this is interesting because like they worked for some reason together.
Yeah, they vibed. They vibed together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's mixed. I see in the chat it's mixed. Some of you guys liked them together, some did, which is good. That's soap opera. That's the whole point. But I felt something was a little off. Like, are they giving them an equal treatment? That's where I started looking at it, going, are they giving equal treatment? Because then they had Dev. Remember, Dev was on the canvas too, and he was after Joss kind of. And I'm like, what about Dev and Trina? I even said that about Dev and Trina. Like, he said, if you want to put Cam and Eden together, fine. But if they want Cam and, but then you have Dev sitting around, why not Dev and Trina? And then it just never happened. Like saying that's why I feel like where is the like what happened there? Like why couldn't that happen? And maybe I got in trouble. And then I said, what if you bring on a young black boy? If you don't want to do interracial, you want to do that. Then I said, we haven't had a young black couple since, was it Angie and Jesse? I could be wrong. Or Drusilla and Neil or whatever. I would say, why could we bring on a black person? And come in. And then everybody gets, I feel like the teen set could be really cute. You have this couple here and this couple here. That's why I started kind of questioning Trina's treatment.
Right.
It's like everybody was after Joss and then not, and so Trina gets nothing. And that's why I first started saying that. I started kind of voicing it and going, and I said, well, I'll wait and see how it goes. So I mean, yes.
No. I
Go ahead,
agree.
Walker. Oh.
No. You hit the nail on the head.
I figured. I'm seeing in the chat. People didn't like that I said Eden was getting attacked. I've seen actually her getting attacked. I've seen it. And yes, and Tabian's getting here's the point.
Everybody's getting attacked for something.
Yeah. So it was. I actually personally seen it. I'm not saying you did it here in the chat room. Here's the point. No actor should be attacked. Why are you attacking? They're doing their jobs. Like, why? So no actor should be attacked. So I'm going to address it out loud. You're going to try to call me out. Here it is. Yes, Tabian also has been attacked also. I've seen it. I'm saying nobody should be attacked.
Yeah.
Nobody should be attacked. They're actors. They're doing their job. Same thing would happen with Cynthia Watros getting attacked at fan events. It's like she's playing a character on a show. No one should be attacking anybody. It's like, it's a show. So yes, we can attack the storyline and the characters, but we shouldn't attack anybody. So that's my issue, period. And so if you're gonna try to call me out on something, then I'm gonna say, yeah, nobody should be attacking anybody. So, and you can not believe me and keep saying no one attacked you. I've seen stuff personally, so you can maybe you haven't seen it. You're not the end all be all, know everything. But I'm just saying that no one, just here's the narrative, period. No one should be attacked. It should just be on their merits of their jobs. Because I've gotten attacked. I'm not even on the show. I'm not even on the goddamn show. And my actors, trust me, my hosts over the years, I've gotten death threats. I've gotten attacked. My co-hosts were getting attacked. And if we don't like certain characters or like certain things, it's crazy. And we're not even on the show. We're just talking about it. You know, that's the whole thing. That's the thing. If you want to attack the writers, that's fine. But I'm saying the actors aren't produced. They're just doing their job. And that's where I think we need to kind of rein that in a bit and support actors. If you feel bad for Tommy, then support them, of course. But why are we attacking? Or you can attack other fans. That's fine. Attack all the other fans. That's fine. But I just feel like the actors, they're just getting paid to do their job. And it's expensive in Los Angeles. You place to live.
But also that same behavior is what ran Becky off of social media.
Kelly Monaco.
Kelly off of social media. Like yes, you can hate the story, you can hate the character, but attacking and this goes for everyone. And you know, I'm not my feelings about everyone is clear. I don't need to say. Everyone know how I feel about all these people in real life.
Yes, I do.
Who I like and who I don't like.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you are affecting people's mental health, like across the board, period. Regardless if you like the person, you don't like the person. And it's just, it ends up hurting the fans more than it does hurting the people that you're attacking. Because eventually they start to pull back less. And then you look and then
it's gone.
Then it's gone. And the person who used to love engaging with the fans, who love being on social media, is now posting like once every 6 months, is now like checking in, like, you know, every anniversary. Oh, you know, something. And that's not what the fans are like. I'm sure Rebecca's fans, Kelly's fans wish that they were back on social media, engaging with them like they used to.
Mm-hmm. That's for all soaps. I know a lot of the actors who said, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna be on Twitter anymore or Instagram because they got attacked too much." So those who say that anybody's getting attacked, people are getting attacked. I've seen it personally. I'm seeing it. I'm telling you, if you don't believe me, that's fine, but I've seen it.
But like you just said too, at fan events, it's pretty bad where you know, when you go to a fan event, you're supposed to have fun. You're supposed to meet other people who share the same interests as you, meet the actors and stuff like that. But then it's always this whole, okay, nobody start anything. Like, please don't, because like you brought about Cynthia Watros, that shouldn't have even happened.
That stuff was bad. It was bad.
It shouldn't even happen. And the fact that, again, okay, 5 days, you know, a week, we watch these characters. They are like family to us. And sometimes, and I always said, there's different level of fans, right? There's the fans who understands that it's a TV show. There's fans who are so engrossed that sometimes it just, you know, you got that line. And then there's the ones who are just like, okay, this is really like Spencer and not Nicholas. I don't know who this Nicholas is, but it's all Spencer. Like, he's supposed to be with me. Why is he with this other girl? I don't know who this person is. You're like blurring this situation.
Robert Scott Wilson got that too for a while. Yes.
Another people that they ran up off social media.
I mean, it's just to the point where, like you said, they're getting paid to do a job, to bring these characters to life from the writers who are writing the lines. And their job is to make you feel a certain type of way, to make you love them or hate them, or, you know, Monday love them, Tuesday hate them, on Wednesday, what the fuck? But that's the thing. But don't personally attack. And yes, I've seen everything too. But I'm just like, and I understand people like, well, such and such didn't come out to support this person, but this person was supporting them. And I always say this, you don't know what's going on behind closed doors, because sometimes not everybody wants to say something on social media.
No. If we're gonna bring it to the playground, we got to name the names. Let's get it out there. I mean, for real, we need. Let's squash this.
No, I'm just saying, like, even if you like, even if you put something out there, like case in point, what happened to me last year, everybody jumped on the bandwagon, try to stir the pot, and then when they found out the truth, they was like, backpedal. It's like, come on, y'all. We are all adults. Why are we acting like we're in elementary and middle school with all this? And it takes away. It takes away from watching the show. And look, General Hospital right now, and I'll just say, because I'm over here trying so hard not to cry. I really am, y'all. This show is so effed up to the point where my mental health, and I literally said it, James, I don't know if I told you, I've taken a break from General Hospital. It's because of it's and the thing is that I support all the soaps. Y'all all know that. I don't want any shows to be canceled and everything, but the writing for this show sucks. The pacing sucks. The way that they have Trina and Spencer, I'm confused. Yeah. I am so confused to the point where I'm just like, General Hospital, did you gaslight everybody?
So let's, can we dive into that? Because I think that's what really the thing is
let's dive into it. Yeah.
There has been a shift in this romantic telling. We all agree with that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the only issue I have is, does that mean that the whole show is racist? And that's what I don't feel comfortable with, because I don't care who gets mad at me. You look, and we have Jordan, we have Portia, there are more Black people on the show now than there have been in a while.
Ever. Yep.
Are they on every day? They're not. But people say, well, Laura Marie's are on. Hey, I don't make the contracts. So if you were able to get, my guarantee is I'm in 80% of the episodes, then that's an ABC thing. That's a contract situation. That's not a, well, it's a slight to other people. I mean, there are a lot of white characters on the show that aren't doing anything, that have just been flapping. I mean, Portia, people, like I said, Elizabeth. I mean, they have her, like, what's her story?
Right.
And that's and that's a legacy character who should be front burner.
I'm agreeing with many of the folks in the chats. They answered your question kind of. It's not necessarily if the whole show is racist, but there are biases and things just not thought of.
It's undertone racial biasness. There's undertone. That's undertone on that. Yep.
That is. I'm seeing a lot of the show is racist. The show is racist. The show is racist.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with that, but I do agree that there has been a shift. And why isn't there all these other couples are getting to be intimate, or getting to show love for each other, and this one character isn't?
Well, my whole thing is, I said it on my show, everyone's had sex except for them.
Yeah.
That, to me, that's a problem. And some folks try to tell me, well, she's classy. Okay, we don't sex shame or slut shame, first of all, number one. And she's in love with this guy. The storyline's going on for 2 years. She can get fucked. She can fuck somebody. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to break it down. Seriously. It's not saying because she's a dark-skinned Black or anything. She can have fucking sex and make love to her man. There is nothing wrong with that. It's like, I'm thinking it's a bias because they're not thinking of her that way.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's a problem. We need to change. They need to change the narrative in the network and also in the writer's room and see Trina as a fully formed character.
Yep.
In a storyline
Yep.
that can go and get fucked. I'm just gonna bring it. I mean, seriously, I'm just like, that's just because Ava and Austin had sex. They barely been talking to each other for 2-3 months. And they had a sex scene. Like, come on.
And that was definitely a slap in the face to the Sprina fans.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. After I'm getting all loud now. After Greenland, let me calm down a bit. After Greenland, as a writer, I'm a writer. I write 17 audio dramas. The course should have been when she jumped in his arms when he was alive. The course should have been now they're together against the world.
Yep.
That's what it should have been. That's where it should have gone that direction. You can have Esme on the outline on the south side. You can have them. You can have her nearby, poking and prodding. That's fine, but at least give us a full
payoff.
A payoff.
Payoff.
That was my problem. I was like, even with Rory, they barely kissed, barely held hands. She had a boyfriend in name only, basically. She had a boyfriend on paper. And in a way, that was ridiculous too. That was ridiculous also. That was performative to me. Her and Rory were just performative, but that's fine. But no, she's had, through 2 characters, 2 women who played this role, there's been this relationship with Spencer and Trina. Now it's time. You can do it. At least show them have this big moment, big sweeping moment. They do it, whatever, and then they go from there. Because they've been playing them after, like they're working together with them against the world. But I thought that Friday episode pissed the fuck off of me. So I was like, oh, he's shirtless, and there's Esme. Here's the ice. I'm like, wait a minute, this is lazy writing. But I'm with Walker. They're not trying to ruin the show, but it's just lazy performative writing. Okay, you guys can. I got my soapbox for a second. You guys can.
No, Candice, you go.
Yeah, just like that's
the pacing. There's racial biasness. There's undertones that, and I'll say this. Sometimes I think the General Hospital writers, like you say, they don't know. They really don't. I'll be honest. I'm going to say this. I don't think they know when they write, obviously, what the reaction is going to be.
Right. You don't
but
know.
I know for me, I know when I'm writing, I feel a reaction. I'm like, oh, this is okay. If I'm feeling this way, I'm pretty sure the audience is going to feel that way too. But there's some times where, again, they don't know if they're going to cause a stir. Because like you said, Friday's episode, Walker, that was the episode that made me decide to take a mental break. I was done. You're making too much of this about Esme and this fake house situation. I'm like, hold up, time out. We're not doing this today, General Hospital. No. I was like, again, let's go back to the beginning of this year, January, at the TCAs, the Television Critics Association, when Dan and Chris, the head writers of General Hospital, said, and I quote, "We're going to go and use General Hospital's history of the Ice Princess storyline, and we're going to use the future of Spencer and Trina." Okay. Anybody who's watched The Ice Princess knows that was a pivotal storyline for Luke and Laura. Luke and Laura saved the world. Spencer and Trina saved the world. I thought for sure after that jump, which they added, I was like, we're going to get a montage. I was like, they're going to make love. They're going to make love on a haunted stars. Well, the haunted star blew up, but it was going to be something. And then it was like, okay, now Spencer's a babysitter. He's moving in with Laura and Esme. Trina is the best friend with the little POV. Like, what happened? Like, in all honesty, what has happened? I know this show, look, I use Chasing Brooklyn. Sorry to the Chasing Brooklyn fans. How you doing? I hope you guys, I send my condolences because I was like, oh, child, like, But I kept saying Spencer and Trina because General Hospital, and I'm sorry for all those who are about to get like really, but here's the truth. Spencer and Trina is what has made General Hospital in some parts watchable. They market Spencer and Trina as the next big super couple. We haven't had one of those in a very long time. You have to go to the writing. Right now it's 2 years. Wednesday was their anniversary. What
So I want to say something, as you said, people bring up in the chat. So my buddy Vanessa Antoine was brought up a lot this week.
Trending. She was trending.
Yes, I brought up a lot this week from her interview from years ago. And see, I got in trouble for this 2 years ago because I always call out colorism. I always call it out. And I was like, so you have Vanessa Antoine, then he had some white chick. Oh, no, that was Henry, who I ended up liking. Okay, I ended up liking her. But then you bring out this beautiful chocolate girl, Tanisha, who, I mean, literally, she is.
Oh, yeah, Jordan, the other Jordan.
I love
all the Jordans were a little different. That bugs the shit out of me, number one. That's number one. That's minus that. But then you have this beautiful, beautiful black woman, and men are just falling at her feet. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this woman is beautiful. You have Curtis being a dick. That's part of the storyline. So we finally get Zeke on the show. He dark-skinned too. I was shocked they actually had a dark-skinned love moment for a minute. I was like,
and it was sexy.
And it was sexy. I was like,
sexy.
I was like, okay. I'm like, wow. I was like, that's finally something for her to do. I thought that was finally. So, but that's it. That's the kind of, going back to what Walker said, on paper, I think these writers they're not seeing it. That's the problem. I'm just gonna bring up an example for Bold and the Beautiful. Because last year, the whole Mandingo storyline came up. And it was optics. I think on paper, because Lawrence said we just one of the writers, I think on paper, they were going by just characters.
Yeah.
And if Carter was white, it would be a big deal.
Yeah.
It would still be icky.
Right.
It would be a big deal. But they didn't look at the optics. So they got this black man just stud for hire. That's really bad. Everybody loved him and Rena Sulfur together. They were hot together, but once they did that, ruined it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying there's optics also. There's also optics. And so I think also in General Hospital, they have all these black folks circling drain, walking around, like I said, not all the time. And it's great. There was some great scenes. I wish I could invest in TJ and Molly. They're barely on. I don't feel anything for them. I don't.
Not this Molly.
Not this. Oh, this Molly. Sorry, kids. I'm just not a fan. But y'all know how I feel about Kate Manzi, but the story about Christina. Anyway,
that one. You know, I love me some Kate Manzi.
I like her too.
That should be the star of General Hospital, in my opinion. She should be on there 5 days a week. I only get that bitch once or two. How long has she been on the show?
That's because they don't know what to do with the character of Christina, and that's been a problem even before Kate was there. Yeah, and that's the problem.
Yes.
This show with the pacing and how they use their characters, they got 65 people on the show.
Hello.
And there's and look, let's be honest. For all of us who've been watching since the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, yeah, there is favoritism. I'm going to say it. Thanks, Brian Franz.
Yes, there is, and me and all three of us can attest that there is favoritism.
And look, go ahead, Walker.
James brought up something. I watched your video earlier in the week. There is a hierarchy on these shows.
Yeah,
like it or not. That's just. Even at your own job, there is a hierarchy at your own job. I mean, yeah.
It just is. There's some folks who they've earned their spots, and they're going to get more story. They're going to get more story. They're going to be on more. But remember, about a couple of years ago, I was like, the Carly show, and then people got pissed at me for saying that. And I love Laura Wright. I don't get wrong against her, but she is number 2 on the call sheet, or number 1 on the call sheet. Her Maurice.
It shifted now. It shifted between those two. Yeah.
But if you're going to give, I see another problem I had was during Trina's trial. It's like that was like on 1 week, that was off for 2 months, and there's like, so again, they need to start investing. They need to start investing in these black characters so they're going to have them on the show and not just be performative, where they're just there. We can say we have black folks on the show. We need them to do something. I know it's a large. I always said the cast was bloated. We can get rid of like 20 people, but like let's write for some of these Black folks and like give them real story and give us stories that, like I said, I'm like you. I want to like Portia, but I don't like her. The way they've written her, I'm like, why? Why would we like her? Why would we? Curtis?
I don't even like Curtis. I don't even like Curtis anymore.
Folks, what about Selena Wu? My girl Lydia Look. Everyone loves her, and she's barely on.
What happened to Brad?
And Brad.
He's supposed to be
no.
He's supposed to be working for her.
Wait a minute. Here's my question. Where's Felix?
Where's Felix?
Oh, it's not the nurse's ball yet. Never mind.
That's what I'm saying. It's like there are so many characters. You guys know these characters. Like, where are they? Where are they? Like, they're barely. And what kills me, I said this on my show, nighttime shows, a lot of times when they have a hit couple or character, they write for them. They want the show to, like, all the Fonzes and Urkels and all this stuff, they write for them. So I am just surprised and not surprised. Why aren't they writing for Sprina more?
I mean, look at Days who write so far in advance, and their writers had the foresight to know what's going to work, which is the craziest thing, that when they put these couples together, they hit, and it was filmed last year. That's to me, that's the most amazing thing, that they have the ability to see something and go all the way through with it, regardless of what the fan reaction is going to be. Because that, by the time it airs, it's too late. It's they've moved on to the next Christmas storyline. But it's crazy, like how they're able to, this Chloe and Xander, like they put them together. Sin, they invested in Sin before it was even became a thing.
Yeah.
Chanel and the twin.
Well, not everybody was feeling that.
But it was a diverse storyline, though. You have to give it.
And now we're going to have two Black women together, Chanel and
Talia.
And Talia.
Days of Our Lives, they fucked up the gay stuff. Let me start on that. But when it comes to strictly gay stuff, they got on my nerves. But when it comes to diversity, we got Kim Coles on there. We got They seriously brought back Ilani for a little bit. We love that. Days of Our Lives is using their Black folks.
Yeah. And the Asians.
And they're giving Abe more to do.
Yes, they are.
I'm so happy.
But also we got the Shin family. The Shin family has had our in there. That's a show where they write I hate the word colorblind writing, but they write these stories for all the characters, all
the people,
all the storylines that Chanel, you could insert any other person, and it's a traditional soap storyline.
And I'm going to say the reason too is because I know everybody may have a certain feel about this person, but Ron Carlivati learned from Agnes Nixon. Agnes Nixon did not look at skin tone. She looked at people as everyday Joes. Again, who did she learn from? Erna Phillips. She didn't look at it like that too. So with Ron and with Days of Our Lives, and yes, Days of Our Lives is the most diverse soap out there.
Yeah.
But they're doing their thing. I know people, say, oh, but Days of Our Lives is known for their supernatural stuff. Nobody watches that show. I mean, yeah, they got a rep for that. But yeah, like you said, when I turn it on, I look at Chanel. Chanel is my freaking. By the way, happy anniversary, Raven, because today's your 2nd anniversary.
I love Raven. Yes, I love Raven.
I know this is General Hospital, but she might watch it.
The problem is all soaps have it.
Yeah, but no, I mean, like with Chanel, she is like old school soap, like Vixen / heroine, like, and she reminds me a little bit of like an Erica Kane type. She's been married. But again, I don't look for the way the writing is. I don't look at this, but I do say that's my Black girl. Like that. That's how I look at it. I'm like, she's playing it, and it's not. I don't have to go through the hassle, General Hospital, like I do with you. I'm serious. Like General Hospital, y'all.
Well, I mean, the thing is, Trina has earned her way now. I feel like at this point, she has earned her spot. I mean, whether you like the character doesn't matter. She's earned her spot. She's been on long enough. She has earned her spot. And Spencer, obviously, he's a character on it too. He's earned his spot. Nicholas Chavez is a great actor. He's earned his spot. So now let's go forward with them.
But my question is, how do you go forward now, knowing all that we know, that he's not here? Like, we basically know he's gone. Like, even if you do the math of like when they go back to filming, what like
Yeah.
so what is it like?
But that was the problem. That was, to be honest, we're going to go back last year when he won his first Emmy. Keep this in mind: first nomination, first win. Right? We know. Look, we all watch soaps. We know talent when we see it.
Yes.
And so when he won, we kept saying, yeah, it won't be long before Netflix or Amazon. Because look, let's be honest. The reason some young soap stars aren't on the shows a long period of time is because Netflix, Amazon, Marvel, everybody is looking for the next big thing.
Yeah.
And so with Nicholas, it was like tick tock, you're on borrowed time. When he won the second go around, it was like, yeah, okay. When it came out about Netflix, it was like, this is it. And this is what the fear was, is right. General Hospital, you're pacing, your time, whatever you're writing, you're going to F this up. And it's unfair because, again, people have invested in this couple for 2 years. Before he rolls out, the least you need to give the people who've been with Nicholas and Taviana a payoff before whatever. And the flip side is with Taviana. Taviana is a great author. She's also a great actress. I'm pretty sure people are getting ready to scoop her up too. But it's unfair because it's like, we're really on borrowed time.
Mm-hmm. I want to bring something up that Jazzy, just 1 second, that Jazzy brings up. Unfortunately, Jazzy, you can win an Emmy and walk. Case in point, Michelle Morgan.
Oh my God.
Sorry, folks, for a second, because there's problems on all these soaps. It's not just General Hospital, everybody.
Young and About stuffed up.
When they showed the flashbacks the other day of her as Hillary, I was like, they effed up back then. And then as Amanda, she had such a promise, they effed up again. It was like, Michelle Morgan is this talent that is it explodes on the screen.
How did you not know how to do anything with Michelle Morgan? I'm just going to vent real quick. Sorry, Walker. It's just, you brought her back as a new character. I remember how they brought Amanda on with a shady past because she had a restraining order on her husband and her husband had a restraining order on her. You didn't travel her. You didn't do like Trina. You didn't let her move. You kept her on, quote unquote, as everybody said, the island. That was the island with Devon and Lily and all of them. You made her Hillary's twin. Okay, why not just say she's Hillary? You had her do the same thing as Hillary. But you wasted her time. You wasted her talent.
And they gave her a family. Okay, so they gave her a family.
Family, and I like Amani.
Where's the whole story? They gave her a family of talented Black women.
And her grandfather. What was her grandfather? Her grandfather?
Yeah,
grandfather. Like, there was so much promise.
I'm like, sorry, I'm going to say something. Let me say something.
No. And they didn't really get to the character until the end.
Right.
The feistiness, it was like, well, it could have been that the whole time.
Yes.
So and the thing that worked with Hillary so much was because, like, she was such good friends with Jack. She was best friends with Phyllis. Like, all of these different connections where it's
Amanda and Billy. I saw it too, Jolie Pitt. I saw it too.
Yeah, I liked it, Amanda and Billy at that point.
And there was a time that there was a Hillary and Kyle flirtation. Like,
yes.
They moved her. They had her all over.
Adam.
So I bring all this up because I just want you guys to realize every soap has an issue with race.
Yes.
And I
the
feel
Avant family on both.
I just don't start how they have no gay characters at the Fashion House in Los Angeles. We started that. But my thing is, they're not seeing. That's why I called it out. Because she is Black, because they are Black, they're not seeing the full potential of what they can do, and that the audience will literally accept it. There's this perception like the middle America or Nobody gives a shit. They'll accept. There's a good story. They will accept it, no matter who's leading on it. Now people are upset because you have 2 black men with 2 white women on Y&R. The optics on that one look kind of crazy for folks. And so we have that going on. But my thing is, when can we just start seeing these even with Christoph St. John had problems back in the day. They didn't want to put him in. Eileen Davidson told us they didn't want to put them together back in the day because he was
or have a time when they did
and
that.
They were all for it. They were like, I was all for it. They said no. And then later, him and Ashley finally started to get together, but
it wasn't the same.
Yeah.
No.
It was the same. But the whole point is they got to see that there is potential and that just like the white characters, Gabby Hernandez, Demira could be possible. Camila Banu's played the fuck out of that role. She played
She carried that show a whole year.
I don't care about behind the scenes they said about her or whatever. She seriously on screen was the bomb.
Yep.
So it is the optics. But Frock Walker said something in the beginning of the show. The writers don't see the fans' point of view. And part of the problem, though, is with the fans, for them, who do they follow? If every set of fans has a different viewpoint, then which one should they follow? So it's almost like a circle. It's almost like a dog chasing his tail. It's like they should kind of watch what the fans are saying, but then which one should they listen to? That's always my issue. I don't have an answer for that. That's always my issue because even though Sprina is huge, I feel like they should follow that. But with some of the other storylines, like, well, then who do you follow? Do you put Liz with Finn, or do you put Liz with Drew, or do you bring back Rick? You know, I mean, like there's all these everybody, or do you bring in Jason? You know, that's all these things. So it's like it's hard. It's really hard sometimes because there's so many fan bases that feel a certain way. Who do you follow? But I feel like with Sprina, because that's such a large fan base, you can almost win with anything you do for them. It's like a layup. It's like a layup, Walker. Just like, here you go, and like give them something loving.
I said, and I'm going to say this until the end of the day. When they found out that Curtis was her father, I'm doing this because I don't believe that nigga is her father.
Yes.
That was the opportunity. When that happens, we've all watched soaps. When that happens to a character, they always go to the dark side. They always act out.
Yeah.
We had this girl cry next episode. Hey, Curtis, here's your birthday gift.
For real.
Like the story should be Trina acting out and Spencer is trying to save her from the darkness. Not she's always trying to save him. It should have been him trying to save her from herself. That was the story. Boom, boom, boom. Classic soaps.
That's what I thought.
Well, Walker, someone brought up earlier in the chat room. I forgot who said it. I'm sorry, I forgot who said it because there's 133 people here, so I don't have a chance to see who's in there. But I agree. That Hook storyline. We know they changed that last minute. We know everybody in chat room. You know they changed that last minute, right? We know. I didn't write for it, but I could tell they changed that last minute because the whole thing about being surrounded by Trina at first or anybody around that would have been good if they kept going that way. But they went a whole other direction.
It was
right. We all know that, right? It was a fucked up turn.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. When I saw, first and foremost, when I heard that the General House was going to do, I know what you did last summer spinoff, or whatnot. It was like the first person was Ava. So Ava is connected to 3 characters: Sunny, Trina, Spencer. The next person was almost Jocelyn, right? Again, she's around those 3. Then the first kill was it Brando? It was Brando, right?
No, it wasn't some random person.
It was a random person.
I think. It was a random person. We don't, well, okay. Anyway, but then when it got to Brando, again, he pushed Jocelyn out. So that was Jocelyn. Right. So then it was like, okay, who could it be? Then it was Rory, right? It was Rory and the jury member that was on Trina's trial.
Yes.
Okay. So now it was like, okay, we're going to eliminate Sunny. It's still Spencer and Trina. Mm-hmm. I thought for sure it was because at first I was like, it's Esme. It's Esme. But then they was like, it could be Ryan. And I'm like, then when they said it was Heather, I was like, I'm bye. See ya. Bye. Adios. Done.
Which, correct me if I'm wrong, but that was a complete rewrite because
Yes.
Heather didn't even notice that little bitch existed.
Was her daughter?
No.
But then all of a sudden she did all this for her.
That's what I said about General Hospital. General Hospital does not know, and I'm going to say it. I feel as though when they write these storylines, they do not have a beginning, middle, or end. Because again, Heather was supposed to be connected to another storyline, and I'll say the Elizabeth storyline with Jeff Weber. Yeah. It made sense. Why did you take and have Heather? Again, we all saw the body of the guy, of the killer. It was a guy. It was not a female. Come on, General Hospital, do better.
Well, also remember, the killer took weeks off. So it's like the killer went on vacation, went on Christmas vacation.
No Thanksgiving, and came
vacation. Yeah,
there was no police. There was no police security anywhere in town. Like a town being with a serial killer. I'm sorry. I watched these. Like y'all know what my favorite serial killer storyline is of all time. Loving.
Oh my god, that was D.
That was it. It was good.
That was good. Like, see, people take note. Take note, okay? But anyway, I see serial killer storylines on TV. Shoot, in the cities, they have a curfew. Why didn't Port Charles have police? Why didn't they have a curfew? This killer going around like, hook ya.
They didn't take the story seriously.
They didn't.
Because it was, even that storyline was isolated to certain people.
Yes.
The whole city, everyone should have been affected by it.
I agree.
Right.
Should have been the undercurrent for every storyline.
Yes. And you know what the sad part was with the storyline is, okay, I remember back in the day when we didn't get spoiled with certain storylines. But the fact that you kept saying this actor was leaving, this actor was leaving, this actor was leaving, this actor, and all four of the actors that they said, they all died. I was like, so y'all not going to kill anybody that's on quote unquote contract? Like, okay, if you would have got Ava Jerome, everybody would be like, I know General Hospital is not about to fire Maura West. Like, not today.
Well, remember Diane got hooked. I thought, was Carolyn Hennessy leaving? I mean, that was totally possible.
Right. But then after that, we knew that Michael, who plays Rory, we all knew he was leaving because he was doing primetime, but he was also in Wakanda Forever, the deleted scenes. Check it out, though.
Wait, and the regular, like for a second, I think I saw him in the regular.
Like for a split second,
and then more in the deleted,
yeah, more deleted. But hey, shout out to him. He's a part of Marvel.
Well, next time, stop tweeting out that shit, and then the fans won't be digging shit up.
Because fans are the FBI. When it comes to it, they will find.
You can check out my interview with them. That did very well. People said it helped change their minds about him a little bit. So. James Lott Jr. I did an interview with him. So there you go. Thanks, Walker. But the whole thing is, me, of course. I'm kidding. It all rolls to James Lott Jr. Okay, so here's the thing. So the killer storyline that was totally whack. We know that's something. So I'm saying, so again, there's this kind of Walker is savage. It's funny. They said this thing is like the show itself is not riding at its top notchness. I'm making up a word. But
it
also,
sucks.
But then you add some of these characters like a Sprina. They should be more on. There should be more Selena Wu. There should be more Brad. There should be more of that. And regardless of color, just should be more.
It should be a shakeup.
I just think people in those positions literally just aren't thinking that. But it is true. There is race involved. That's why I called that. So let's call it out.
Yeah.
If she was not a black girl, it'd be a different story. But you're right. Even though the character Christina has the same horrible shit, they don't do any of that character. That's a whole other story. But to me, it is added when you have a black girl on the show who's in a coupling in quotes, and you don't give her enough to work with.
And it doesn't help that these writers aren't held to any like higher standard. They don't have to come out like back in the day. All of them would come out and do these interviews. You would be able to ask them questions. Mm-hmm. The fact that they're so, I don't want to say protected, but so
sequestered.
Exactly. It's like we though the Sprina fandom deserves answers. Why did you decide to go this route? And it just can't be, well, we want to tell a great story. Well, you could have done this and still had them.
Yeah.
You could have had them together as we fucking all over the place, and then we still are dealing with Esme. And I think it would have been even better if they were already solidified as a couple and then have Esme coming and doing that.
Yeah.
That's soap.
Yes. And I know you immediately, that's why I always say dark skin black women. I say it all the time. But here's my thing. I even said this a few episodes ago. I said, I think they were writing them as a super couple to kind of slow build, give them stuff to go on. But I feel like Greenland was the deciding marker. I felt like once you did that, now it's full steam ahead. That's what I thought. So I defended some of the pacing a little bit, going, okay, they're just trying to kind of get them going old school. That's great. But now we know they're in love with each other. That's like fucking Candy. We in love with each other. And each other. So now let's go. Like, okay, now let's go. Like, why are we
on borrowed time, buddy? You're on borrowed time, General Hospital.
It is. It's just like, come on, folks. Like, let's go. Let's just go ahead. Greenland was the moment, Jazzy. I agree with you. It was the moment. So it's like, okay, so now go forward. Now back in Port Charles, you know, Spencer's a hothead. He's trying to change. That's okay, good. She's the good girl who's feisty. That works for me. Okay.
Right.
Now let them get, now that could be their internal conflict. That's great. But now you can add Esme in and go, okay, she's trying to get closer to him. Maybe he's tricking her. Like, again, have some storyline. Maybe they're working together. We think it's like, but I don't think they're writing that way. I don't think they're writing that way.
No,
I wish they would, but you feel, okay, so Esme thinks you like her, right? Like, do something with them.
One simple scene. 30 seconds.
Or even a look. Like they're all in the room together. And Esme is like, okay, Spencer, I'm going to get baby Ace and I'll talk to you later. And then Spencer just like smiles and then looks at Trina like, like, okay, we're in on this secret. We know we're going to try to trick her. But it's like, this story is so backwards and it's frustrating.
I had to laugh. Okay, side note again, little side note. Bold and the Beautiful. I love, and first of all, she's so beautiful, first of all. Jacqueline McInnes Wood. I love when Liam was like, I'm going to kiss you again, Stephanie. Instead of like, motherfucker, we ain't doing that. Oh, she was like, she almost rolled her neck a couple times. She was like, I got my man. I shouldn't say it like that. But she was like, I got a man. I'm in love with Finn. I got my kids. I am happy in my life. You need to go fix your life. She was like, no. I'm so glad Stephanie didn't fall into that.
I will say,
but yeah, she still hasn't told her husband yet. So
that's a problem. That's a problem.
Because I've heard this Beyonce. I heard this Beyonce speech before where I'm putting my kid first and da-da-da. But you ain't tell your husband yet about those first 2 kisses. But yet you was real quick to say about Hope and Thomas. So you know what, Steffi? I love you.
No, I'm sorry. I love Steffi. I love
Steffi too. But I just need for her to tell.
She's so beautiful. I think she's so beautiful. I've never met her. She's so beautiful. I love her.
Really?
I've never met her. I'd love to.
Wow.
I've interviewed everybody else on that set except for her.
Wait. I could have sworn you met her.
Nope.
Because you know she skips this carpet. She don't really. She be like, boom, 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 1, 2, 3, and then I'm done. I'm inside.
Okay, so I've never.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, I got Brandy. Okay, Brandy. I got put me first, Lucius. That's my empire. And my Cookie. Cookie was my spirit animal. Okay, Cookie was my girl.
Cookie was everything.
Cookie was everything. Go on, Brandy. They got put me first, Lucius. I can see her saying it right now. Let me start it. But anyway, that's a little side note.
But I still need Steffi to tell her husband, okay? Even though I was right there with her telling Liam that, I was all for it. But I need for her to tell Finn. That's all.
I know, but a little side note. Walker.
Quick side note also. Having like the dialogue has gotten a lot sharper on that show.
Yeah, it has.
Yes.
Like delicious.
I was waiting for an F-bomb. I was so waiting for an F-bomb or something to drop on both. I was like,
well, my thing was like, my thing was when Taylor was talking to Ridge. I was like, okay, Taylor, you tell me all about it. I was like, okay. She's like,
and Taylor, I need you to find a dice man so you can get your layups on him all day long, get your exercise in. Don't worry about Ridge. Ridge is a douchebag. He's always been a douchebag.
Okay. She's like, Bruce gonna hurt you again. Don't worry. She's like, she's gonna hurt you again. Don't worry. And I know when Finn finds out about Liam.
The inner Sheila might come out of him.
Okay.
I hope so because Scott Clifton's doing the work, and I love Tanner. Tanner.
They need to do something more with Finn. They need to do something more with Finn.
But you're gonna have to eat your Wheaties if it's gonna be that confrontation. He's gonna need his Wheaties.
I need for that because I already saw Emmy reels for the 51st annual Daytime Emmys, which is going to be held next year.
Anyway, back to our scheduled programming. But race, that's the bold, beautiful stuff. I didn't mention that, but I mentioned that only because I'm saying that they're doing the work over there. They're actually like they're giving you stuff. You're like, oh my god! But
you're invested. Like you've been invested. Like, okay, Hope and Thomas. Even though I can't, because of what Thomas has done to Hope, right? But I see the investment. I see it. And Bold and Beautiful has been tiptoeing. They've been tiptoeing and everything. And if you saw today's episode, and I ain't spoiling it for a lot of people, but there was quote unquote something that was like, oh, y'all, why can't y'all do that with General Hospital with Sprina? Why can't we have that moment where we get the candlelight? Are you sure this is what you want? Yes. Have the cheesy music because General Hospital can't afford 98 Degrees or anything like that from back in, or I'll Be Sure or something like that.
I'll be sure.
Why can't? Oh no, trust me, Sprina Nation, y'all know what I'm talking about because we already have a playlist of songs that they can have for their first time, and the montage and all that. Yeah, but why are we still on this? Like, I don't get it unless there is a plan. But I don't trust the show. I don't trust it. And that's sad. That's even taking the show, Sprina and all that, even with Jordan and Curtis and Portia.
And Zeke.
And even before Zeke even came, even before he was a thought, a blip or whatnot, I was like, I can't be invested in this because I'm like, I don't know. And then with Marshall and Stella and
hold for a second. I want to hear Walker. Please say
something. I see some glimmers of hope though. Like they're getting good scenes over that Curtis, Zeke, Jordan
thing.
Yeah.
was a great scene. The Tracy, Drew, Sam scene.
Oh yes, that
was a great scene.
I agree.
Why is she looking like that?
I don't like Drew.
I don't. But that was the whole point. Is that they were like.
Yeah. No, I want to say this for a second. So we can pick off of Walker. Tanisha was working it out. She had that look on her face like most of us have when she was telling homeboy, "We got nothing to talk about," and then Curtis shows up. Her face was like, "Okay." Then he starts with his BS, and then when Zeke comes in and shows that door, her face is like. She wanted to say, "Dig
right.
Up to come here." Like she was like, she wanted to get, she wanted to get down for a second and not be police commissioner. Be like, what the, And I was like, I want more scenes like that.
Absolutely.
Like, and when Curtis and Zeke were bucking up to each other, I got a little turned on. But I was just like, okay.
Of course.
But then she was like, and then Jordan's like, okay, both y'all motherfuckers. She didn't say this, of course, but she's like, both y'all motherfuckers are tired. That's what she wanted to say. She cut it off. She cut it out. And it's like, everybody get the F out. And she stood there with that paper. She's like. I was like, finally, we get to see
yes,
her point of view of frustration.
More of that.
And the fact that they're Black is great, but also it's 3 great characters. Like, let's do that. That's what we need. So with our Black characters, Marshall and Stella, there's something should be going on between those two.
That should have been Curtis's parents.
We got hat daddies walk around just giving advice to everybody. That's cute.
It's a hat daddy.
But that's the magical Negro, folks. I am tired of the magical Negro, where all they do is be a good person and a sounding board to everybody. That to me is cutesy only for a minute. I'm done. Give them storyline. I'm tired of that. It's like I enjoyed when Marshall was playing the clarinet and Curtis was watching him. It was this kind of black male father-son moment we never see on television. I enjoyed that piece of it. I enjoyed it. Like, but let's give us more than that, though. Let's give us more. Like, I love when he talks to Sprina like his granddaughter. I like all that stuff too. But give him more to do than that. You know what I mean? Let's give Portia more to do than worry about her daughter's
Oh
love.
my God.
When you lied to your husband. I know what Jordan was like, oh, you mean the father you didn't want to tell about? I mean, what's going on? Like, I love she called her out.
That was a great scene too.
That was good.
Give us more of that.
Yeah.
They can do it. Let's see what they can do instead of giving it to everybody else. And again, I'm sorry, I am a Becky Herbst fan. I'm Becky Herbst from a long time ago. Homegirl can act.
Mm-hmm.
Over the years, she can act. Give her something to do.
Not just be with Finn.
Leave her away from Finn. And if I see Violet one more time, I'm gonna turn to a Violet. I don't want to see that little girl anymore. She's so tired. Give them grown-up storyline. Grown-up storyline. And so that's my thing. It's like, okay, all that Violet shit could have been Trina and Spencer or anybody else. But anybody else. To me, it's like, come on. Like you said, we want an investment payoff. You want it.
I don't think
you want it.
I don't think you're gonna get it.
And that's the thing. That's what everybody, like, I will say this with Sprina fans, that is the fear, is that we're not going to get a payoff of Spencer and Trina, like a love making scene or anything, because Nicholas is going to be gone, or they're going to be more invested with Spencer and Esme or whatever. That's the thing. And it's sad to feel that way. It's really sad to feel that way because, again, hearing about Nicholas, I mean, everybody was really happy for him, as well as me. I'm very happy for him.
Me too.
But I also know as a soap fan, and because it recently happened with Sasha Cali, who played Lola on Young and the Restless, I thought she was gonna, quote unquote, come back. But when I found out she was Supergirl and he's going over to Netflix with Ryan Murphy, I'm like,
you thought Sasha was coming back?
You did?
I didn't. No. Okay, this is before I found out that she got Supergirl. Remember, nobody knew she was auditioning for Supergirl. We found out, the day that we found out is the day when they released that video. Because we knew because everybody was like, why isn't she on the show? And with Young and the Restless, they, quote unquote.
That's when they started to erase the Rosales. I
figured
okay. Well,
but like I said, nobody knew that she was auditioning for Supergirl. Like, so when it was announced that she was Supergirl, it was like, well, Sasha, you have a nice life.
Wow.
Thank you so much. And
don't get me started on that whole Rosales family.
The way that movie went, she should have stayed her ass on.
Yeah, no, hello. I'm not gonna help her.
Well, no, if DC would have recast the Flash, and that's another topic for another day.
Topic. All I know is that they got rid of Rosales family, and that was a travesty.
There was so much backlash.
On my show afterwards, we talked about. So you watch that interview too.
Yeah.
And we talked about that too. I get them all on my shows, folks. All my shows, and we talked about
the hair flip.
Also, Eva LaRue is on my show. We talked about that too. But no, the Rosales family again. We have no Latinos. Now we got Audra. But that's one person. The rest of them all got killed off. We don't have Kelsey Wang. What happened to her?
My gosh,
Lord.
She's off with Noah somewhere in London. Like, to me, it's like these erasure of people of color on soaps is just so bizarre to me in 2023. And that's the part that I'm always fighting for.
And not investing in these characters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It was like, wow, Ray was a great character. They could have done more with him, of course. And there was some promise.
Yeah.
They just killed him.
And his brother. I can't think.
Arturo.
Because I like Jason.
Jason Canella.
I love Jason. But
I love Mia. Mia was my girl.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Mia was my girl.
Okay.
Okay.
No, I think why we talk about them. They're fucking off the show. The point is, they wrote them off the show, and there's no Latinos. That's it, kids. Bye. Good night. I mean, it's like that's the problem. It's like Jackie said, we want to see ourselves. The African American community is a large percentage of watching soaps, and has always been. Especially African American women have largely watched soaps for most of soap lives, starting from the 60s, from like 70s, especially. So we want to see ourselves also on the show.
But I only want to see us if we are a meaningful story. Don't just don't.
Yeah.
I don't want just this whole like let's just throw a bunch of people on there and then they don't do shit. I would rather like no, like if you're not going to be invested, then
And don't do it at all.
Then don't do it at all.
Exactly. And you should be up in arms for different things. It's a storylines. So why can't Nate be a villain? Why not? I'm like, why not? He's black. Just because he's black can't be a villain. I say, no more of that magical Negro shit. He could be a villain. You can not like what he's doing. That's kind of the point. But he's having storyline. He's had more storyline than Sprina. You think about it, he's heavily in the storyline. You may not like the storyline, but he's in storyline.
Damn, he's in more storyline than Cynthia Watros.
Exactly.
In comparison.
Right, no, right.
Yeah.
Full storyline right now. So I'm like, okay, and I agree. Well, I always felt that Imani could have been Audra.
Yeah.
I love me some Salika Silver, and I interviewed her too. You can watch the interview on Wine Army Spotlight.
Anybody else you want to plug on JLJ Media that you done interviews with?
No, I'll let them know as we're going along.
Okay, Eric Braden. Check out Eric Braden interviews on JLJ Media. Peter Bergman on there too.
But my whole point is we need to not like VD 505 says, yes, not performative. Stop putting them in boxes. Let them be.
Let them move.
Let them move and breathe around. But I'm with Walker completely 100%. Give them story. Give them story. It's like just don't have them on, just have them on in the back. Let's just get background actors and just be black in the background. Like, but why even have them even speak? But you're gonna have somebody speak, bring them on. Give me more Selena Wu, folks. Lydia Look is the bomb, and I always thought her and Curtis should do something.
Well, it's almost like they keep teasing that storyline of like what's going on, commit to it. And that would be a way to put Curtis in something that's like in a different storyline where he's breathing and he's moving around in something else.
Yes, because there is a little bit of chemistry there, a little bit, but you're right. They slide her in every once in a while. We go, oh my God, she's on today. The crowd goes, yes. Everybody loves her, and they're going to see her for 2 weeks.
It's that extra seasoning that makes the food good.
Well, I'd rather have some regular seasoning so the food tastes good all the time.
I just have a question. It is 2023. Why are we having these conversations still?
And that's what's crazy. That because it's Hollywood. So folks need to understand, I love soap operas. I love this genre. I'm going to continue watching them. I do. I'm going to continue criticizing at the same time and saying what I do like and don't like. I like soap operas. I just do. I do. I like them. The problem is we still have some antiquated things happening still that we need to break down so that it's more modern. Soaps in other countries are way more modern. They're way more inclusive. They're way more diverse. EastEnders, they're all way more. Why are we having the same problem?
Especially on
still
ABC.
In the box?
On ABC, especially
it's ABC because if you look at Days and there you could actually talk about like, oh, I don't like this story, but there is story. They are having story. Do I like this Abe story? I don't like this Abe story. But they got James Reynolds front and center. Like
yes, they do
have story. Yep. They are leading story. They're not the talk to. They're not the secondary. Nope. They are the leading story. So much so that they went and brought Marla Gibbs back. They brought Lamone back. They brought Sal back. All this. They went and found the little boy who played Theo originally. Brought him back.
I was shocked. I was like, oh my God. And I've interviewed him too. Terrell ran some interviews on my Breaking Into. There you go. So go ahead, as you're saying.
But that's a prime example of investing in a story.
Mm-hmm.
I agree completely. So I was like, so you can not like episodes, not like certain scenes, but if they're being used, you can't complain on that end. You can complain on the storyline, but and VD555, I kind of keep calling you out because I just agree with a lot of things you're saying. And that's the thing, because Sprina was in People Magazine 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, for that interview.
They had a goddamn banner flown over. Me and Walker were there.
They did an AP. Tabiana did an AP interview.
Yes, an AP interview.
They was at the TCAs. I don't think people understand how important that was.
Yes.
Like, they were representing the show.
Yeah.
And there is a photo where it's Christina Wagner, Jeannie Francis, like all of the ladies that in their decade was the it girl, quote unquote, right? The fact that they were around Tabiana, it's like you started out with Jeannie Francis. You had Christina Wagner, Finola. You had Rebecca. And then you had Tabiana. That spoke to me because I was like, it's the decade. It's the women.
Well, now looking at that was performative too, because ain't none of those. They ain't got no damn storyline.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ain't none of them.
Exactly.
That was all performative.
They're just there.
They're just there.
But it's just like General Hospital turned 60 this year. Their 60th season. You would think they would be doing more with the future of their show. And Sprina is a part of it. Trina is a young Black lead. She should be. I'm invested in it. I'll take away the Spencer stuff. I'm invested in Trina because I'm like, when is the last time I saw a dark-skinned young woman in quote unquote a lead story or even on a soap? Like, especially, it's been a hot minute. And I look back at like all the characters, like, not just on John Hospital, but I gotta bring up Dying Light. I gotta bring up Aswell Terrence, Young and the Russell, Santa Barbara, Generations, One Life to Live, All My Children. And I'm just like, that's why I said we're in 2023 now. Why is this still? And I get it. In the last couple of years, look, the country has, but I'm just like, I don't get it. I really don't. And I'm a loss for words because it's a shame. It's a shame.
So my question is, what does the fans do? Because some were like, let's reach out to Deadline, let's reach out to Soap Opera Digest and have them write. And I was like, y'all might as well forget about Digest because they in those network pockets, so they really ain't gonna
do shit. So they ain't gonna do shit.
They just feel frustrated. They feel frustrated because like higher ups like Deadline and TV Line. I mean, they were so quick to report on some of the negative stuff that happened in the soap industry.
And that's all they're gonna ever do.
Yes,
right.
If they're getting canceled, they'll run it. If
such and such got fired, they do it. But they want to flip it where it's like, okay, they're on a mainstream, like a main platform. Maybe if people see this, they're aware of what's going on with these shows.
They know what's going on.
Sort of like with The Flash, I can't think of her last name, y'all. The actress that was on, Pat. She spoke out and everything, and everybody was like, oh, okay, they took interest in what she was talking about with the CW and everything. They just feel frustrated. They feel as though they need somebody who is higher up to say, hey, y'all need to check this out. Like, this is what's happening on these shows. The racial violence. But they're frustrated. They're so frustrated.
And I get that, but I don't.
Yeah.
These aren't the days, and like it's just.
I know it's not like it.
We're just not in that world. And this is for everyone listening. Like you just have to, business wise, the way this industry is set up, it's just not like that anymore.
No.
It's not where where they can go and call them out and take them to task, and then you would see something change. It's not, unfortunately.
That's what I was going to say. And so everything that Candice is saying, I get it. And I already know that. Everybody you guys are saying in the chat room, I get it, noted. But I'm with Walker. It's a very tight business right now. They have little budgets, and they're not open to a lot of things. And they know Sprina is popular off camera. They know it. You guys, Sprina Nation did a great job at letting them know that. Trust and believe. They do know. It's just they do not. They pop like I say that. I don't allegedly or whatever. They do not care. I don't know. I don't know if they care or not. I don't know.
That's what I always.
Yeah, we don't know because nobody says anything.
They said anything, but I feel like they just don't care. They're going to write what they want to write. That's the problem, and that's the problem in Hollywood,
especially with the show. And I always tell people, look at Peter. How long did people scream and shout and cry and grow up about wanting that boy gone? And how long did it take?
Too long.
Oh, I think
that's a prime example that they don't give a fuck what you think.
Right. That's the problem, you guys.
But they did deliver on my birthday, though. Thank you.
I did cheer when it happened. Okay, so I have a whole other story about that. But no, but for you guys in the chat room, you should be upset.
Yeah.
You should feel what you're feeling. It's a bait and switch almost. It's a whole guy. Everything you're saying, I totally agree with. But we're just trying to give you a little insight to the reality of things. They're not going to change because they haven't so far. You flew a fucking plane over there.
They had a billboard in New York.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know how long, James. Everybody knows how much I feel about the actor and the character. But yes, I'm saying they haven't done it now. When are they going to do it?
Yeah.
Like seriously,
and it's
added. You guys have done amazingly. I mean, like I said, you're supporting their Zooms, supporting their live events all over the country. You guys are going to their events. You're doing it. You're doing the work. I just don't know if there's any more. I was going to give you hope. I don't know because in general, all the soaps are just like, we're going to write what you're going to write, and either you like it or don't. And they also view, which is in some cases is true, Twitter's just a small portion.
Yeah.
There are a lot of folks who are not on Twitter. A lot of folks who are not on social media who just watch the soap and just watch it. Their ratings aren't the best. They're not the worst. So it's kind of like this whole thing where it's like, that's the problem. It's like there's Twitter's a small, loud group to them.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say it's loud.
Yes.
I just don't. You know me. I have to be hopeful. And okay, I'm gonna pull my hopeful cheerfulness out of this. I'm hoping that Spencer and Trina fans will get a payoff that they deserve.
So too.
And not and look, we have to count this. In a few weeks, the F Core material it was going to debut on these shows because there's the strike going on. I don't know if anybody knows, but there's still a strike. I think we're in week 10, week 11. I hope to dear self Jesus that Spencer and Trina gets a proper story. I really hope you guys, when I say I hope, before the end of this year, we get kiss, we get a I love you, they move in, they have sex. I need for the Esme stuff to be rearview mirror. I want this part is now July 7th. I want from going, okay, I'll give it till the 17th. From that point on, I need for some happiness for them without the drama. Let them be happy, you guys. I don't understand why you giving everybody else a montage. You giving them their I love yous and everything. Why is Spencer and Trina still here when everybody else is down the street and around the corner at Walmart or Target?
Except for Chase in Brooklyn.
Oh, I know.
Lord, Chase in Brooklyn's car broke down. And real quick, you can't blame. Look, they had 2 recasts. Right?
Exactly.
Like with Spencer and Trina, but with Tabiana and Nicholas. They had something, and again, do better. Y'all need to capitalize now, because this is not making sense to me.
I'm saying we're going round and round. The point is, they just don't give a shit. We can be hopeful. We can try. I'm not going to tell anybody in chat room what to do or not do.
Yeah.
Whatever if you feel like you want to write to them, you feel like then go ahead and do it.
Yep.
You do whatever feels good for you. But I'm just telling you. Chances are it's not gonna make a difference.
And also, speaking of doing what you're gonna do, don't y'all spend y'all hard-earned money to fly to motherfucking Los Angeles to go
LA.
boycott and protest a damn studio that they will call the police and have y'all black asses locked up faster than you can say.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't
I don't want nobody arrested. I don't want nobody in trouble. All my black folks, stay at home. Don't go out nowhere. It's not going to help, especially in LA. You don't want to do it here in LA. But we see you, and we also see what your feelings. We're feeling the same way, and I totally get. You guys put a lot into this couple, and you're getting very little return. Totally get it. I'm like, I feel it. I'm empathetic for that. I really do. But yeah, it's not gonna Walker. But yeah, but I'm with Walker. Please don't do it. But the whole point is, I'm just telling you, I wish I was optimistic that I could say, if you keep writing, you keep doing it, it's gonna make them change. I highly doubt it. I doubt it. But we can still talk about it, call it out. I'm gonna still talk about it. I have a show every week. I'm still gonna talk about it. I'm still gonna call out what I see. I'm gonna keep going.
My worry is that if they do it, we're gonna have the same issue that Sin had, Days Sin, that when Victoria left, Ben was just kind of just flailing, like with no direction.
Don't get me started on that.
So like, I don't want to see Trina just flailing when Spencer's not, like, that's my big worry. Like, I want to focus on that character, and then the romance. Like, yes, you can have it all, but don't put her whole identity into that pairing, because that's a kiss of death.
Yeah, I don't want if Spencer leaves, they don't recast. Let's say they don't recast. I want Trina to flourish either way.
Right.
I want. I think somebody said in the chat room earlier. Somebody said that too. I know it's not a popular opinion, but we say that I want the character and the black folks still on the show. I want them to have good storyline. So I want Trina to be able to still be on the show if something happens to Nicholas. We don't want her. She can go back to the art gallery. She can do all this. There's things she can do. They set stuff up for her. So hopefully Trina will be okay if anything happens.
I just realized. Oh, go ahead, Walker.
No, go.
No, I just thought about that too, because they did report that Nicholas was going to take a leave of absence and that GH was not going to recast his role at that present time. Yes. Right. But I'm also wondering, what are they going to do
with Trina
while he's gone?
Hello.
And then in the back of my head just now, you guys, I'm like, are they even going to have her on?
Right. That's what I mean. I would hate to have it where he's gone for 3 months and so is she.
Now, if they said that they're together, but I still want to see some stuff. I want to see before they do that, like if they go on a little vacation together to the islands or whatnot. I still want to see I love you. I want them to say, we're going to be together. I want to show you the world. And I still want them to have sex too. But I don't
want them together. Why? I hate.
No, I know what you're about to say. I think I know what you're going to say.
Well, let them say it.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
The people, they might. I hate when these actors get taken hostage based off of the pairing.
Yeah.
When you put them in these couplings and their whole identity is the couple, when that other person leaves, it's a kiss of death. It's shit out of luck. They had to take Ben off and then bring Robert back as something else because it doesn't work. When look at Kayla when
Steve Patch
when he goes off the show and then they have Kayla like flow like or it just never, when you do these couplings and you put them so their identity is so tied, when the other one leaves, it's a disservice to it. It's and I don't want to see that happen.
Everybody in chat room was actually agreeing. I'm shocked everybody's agreeing. I'm not to be upset, but no, they don't want. They say give Trina more agency in her own story. I want her to have her own stories. We don't want Trina to play a third wheel. I agree.
Yeah.
Now she's a character with the family. Let's get into that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying how these shows write sometimes, because I agree. I do want her. Let me just preference this. I do want her to have her identity. But I also know how sometimes these shows operate where they've lost that character's identity. It's weird. It's also lazy writing.
Yeah, that's
Oh yeah,
too.
that's what it is. Yeah. I don't know if it's Dan and Chris specifically or whoever they're doing, but just somebody's writing where it's like, do. No, we don't want her. We want her to be a regular character who has a family. I mean, people have brought up my birthday twin, Victoria Rowell, up recently a lot too, this week. And that's what Victoria was fighting for.
Yeah.
People were posting, I almost forgot how good Drusilla was back in her heyday. Like, I almost forgot.
Until to the classic episode.
Yes. And you're like, fuck, this girl was like the bomb, diggity. And they wrote for her. I know the scene that's going around right now is when Olivia's birthday, and that chick like her mother was the bomb too. Like that look she gave her that whole time, and Drusilla just went in on her and just did it. It was like, that's what we're trying to say. Give these actors, regardless of color, good story. That's the whole big point. Regardless of color, you're going to have her on the show, and that's what she was fighting for. Writers behind the scenes, producers behind the scenes, in front of the camera, good writing.
And that makes a difference.
Makes a difference.
It does.
Because even at Days, I won't go into the writer. I won't. Never mind. I'm not going to say what.
There were some black writers on Days too, so they had some black writers.
There are, and it shows in the dialogue. Sometimes you just need that culture, or like that. The scene I'm thinking of is the Eli scene with when he runs into Gat. That is such a black line.
Yes.
Something simple as that. Like it don't have to be, we gotta write a black storyline, but let them be authentic. Eli is authentically black.
Years ago on General Hospital, when I had Brittany Sarpy on, there was one scene where Valerie was really black. And when she went, before she slapped Lulu, he said, I'm tired of your stupid, what's that stupid white ass, and slapped her. And then she went to get to a fight by the side of the road. I told her, I said, did you say that, or was it you, or was it that? Like, I actually like the fact they threw that in there for a say. Like, it's like, you're right. Occasionally, I gotta see a neck roll. I'm sorry, I gotta see one. I gotta see some stuff good. I gotta see language not kidding. First of all, not every black person's the same. I totally get it. Don't start yelling. But there are some things and colloquialisms that a lot of us do say that we can't appreciate. It's almost like when I watch a show and a Latino breaks into a Spanish word or two because Gabby has done it several times. Yeah. Word or two. That's actually really authentic. I speak Spanglish myself, and that's what happens. So I want to see a neck roll and a tongue pop. I want to see that once in a while. And I was like, Eli, when he did that scene, I was like, that's right. And I said again, Tanisha too had a couple of those lines. She looked, I'm like, yeah, I got time for this. And that was a total black girl look. And also, some of the folks were like, how does she have her hair one day? And somebody like, black girls will click in some hair when they feel like it, and will change a hairdo.
I saw that too.
That's part of black life. So in fact, I had to have a conversation about Diamond White's hair on Bold and Beautiful. Was so dumb. We had to have to talk about that because it was so stupid. We're like, let's have a dumb conversation about that. It's just like, black folks, we change our hair, we color it, we take it out, and put it in. That's what we do. That's so. I just feel like we have. It's right now. Yes, it's Black Hospital, and some days it's a lot of black folks on General Hospital. However, we got to look deeper into what is the story. Is it a good story? Is it good scenes? Are you just on? Are they propping other folks up? What is the deal? So I just say, for you guys out there, because I know everybody's just asking. I don't know if the answer is completely. I don't. I said again, my job is to watch these shows and comment on them. I will continue to do that always. And I will always have these conversations with anybody. Sunday, me and Susan Banks, the writer for Y&R, will be having our talk. It comes out on Sunday. It's an Extra Connections with Susan Banks, who started up TV One, who was at Y&R back in the day, and who actually is on Y&R right now. A beautiful black woman who is a legend in the business. I was fortunate to get her. That interview coming. We talk black issues on that too, and that comes out on Sunday. So I'll make sure you guys. I will continue these conversations. I'm going to continue doing them.
James, let me just ask for the fans, how often do you have General Hospital people on your, and how easy is it to get someone from General Hospital on your show that you don't know?
It is the hardest thing on God's green earth to get and this is for everybody. All my other colleagues know this. They have their PR department sucks. Once Barbara Patterson Roy left, who was a Black woman, that Amber chick didn't do shit, and now they got some people part of ABC Disney. It is not I can't. I have to use my friendships to get people on my shows.
Mm-hmm.
I can't go to them to get anybody. They don't work with anybody.
So the reason why you're not seeing these certain people from General Hospital like you see other places is that.
Yes. And folks, I want to tell you something. I'm gonna be very real with you also. If you didn't know this, I'm Black. And what that means is I am not looked as in some pieces of this community as good and or better than some other folks that are in this community when it comes to hosting and interviewing. I know I'm good. I know I give good interview. I know I work very hard in this business. I have put in my dues in this business. And in certain circles, I still get shit on. And I don't get some of the respect that I want either. And I'm Black. I know it's because I'm Black. It's not because you can't even say he's new anymore. I'm old as fuck, so you can't say I'm new. It is now because they're choosing not to see value in my work. But some dude, I'm gonna give a shout out to Matt Kane at YNR. You ambassador at both of you. I want to give a shout out.
Eva.
I want to give a shout out to Sean Kanan. I want to give a shout out to Michelle Stafford. I want to give a shout out to in some cases Eden McCoy and her family. I want to give a shout out to Wally Kurth and Perry said, Kathleen Gotti, Patricia Darbo. These folks see value in my work. And whenever I call them up, they show up. Whenever they need somebody for an event, they call me up. They fight for me. These are white folks. And these are the white folks that actually fight for me. And I know Walker knows for sure, like with Sean and them.
Yeah, Sean's more than an ally.
Yeah, he's more than an ally.
Yeah.
And he's fought for me.
Yeah.
But like Matt Kane, and he fights me also. So I'm just telling you, there are some white folks out there who are doing great work and see value in my work. But I'm just telling you, it's even hard for me or Tony Moore, who's worked very hard. I would not even be here if it wasn't Tony Moore audition days. Mm-hmm. He works hard too. And he and I talk all the time, the problems we have in this business. Why I have not been in Soap Opera Digest yet. Why he hasn't been in Soap Opera Digest yet. Or we're not in certain publications. Yes, I've been in People Magazine and other things happen for me. But there are certain soap worlds, they know who I am. But they go to somebody else. I'm not going to name names. You know who they are.
Michael Fairman.
And they do half-ass work.
I look like death.
At the Emmys, though, I'm a star. I guess I get all the interviews. At the Emmys, they love me, so I'll be fine. They ask, do you have the same experience, Walker?
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, like, I sometimes work for one of the largest Black entertainment. Like, we get millions of visitors to our site a month. And I've reached out so many times to get an interview with Tabby, because I was like, getting her in front of our audience, which is predominantly Black, lovebscott.com, Black, LGBT, having her have that exposure would go very well, because that's the people that she needs to be seen in. And every time I've asked, nothing. And then, I never told you this, James, I was told from around someone that said that the reason that that's not the type of publication that they want their people on. I said, oh, okay.
I heard that too.
They don't want Black folks on the black folk publication.
Here's what's funny, folks. I'll give you a little behind the scenes at the Emmys. They walk through and go, don't go to them, don't go to them, go to them, go to them, go to them. I'm very fortunate. I know people who run the Emmys, so I get everybody. So you see I have 50 interviews on my channel is because I'm approved for everybody. I'm very fortunate on that. I shout out to Harlan Bowl and all of them. I Slate PR and all them. I'm really good with them. But I'm telling you, it's not like that. For all the ones that I get, some other Black person or Latino, they're not getting them.
Or not getting it, no.
Mm-hmm.
I lucked out, but I put in my work in, but but I'm saying this is Hollywood, folks. So we see it too from that side. And again, I said, there's enough room for all of us. I'm not here to out in competition. One of my people that I do love to death is Alan Locker. I love his interviews. He has a lane that he's in. I've helped, he's given me my props. I've helped him with certain things over the years. We are friends. We support each other. It's no big deal. So I'm like, I want everybody to think I'm just sour on all these other people. And all the other little outlets that do other soap shows, they always know James Lott Jr. is supportive. I'm always supportive.
Soap Central's great.
Yes.
Soaps.com is
yes.
She knows
Yeah.
it's great.
Yes.
Soap
News Network, Soap News, Soap News Network. My girl Angela Ryan Duncan over there. All those folks over there.
Yep.
Errol Lewis. All those folks over there. They're great. They're great people. And again, I love them. I mean, there's no. We have fun with them. We always have fun with them. We always had a good time kicking.
And unfortunately, even all of us coming collectively and sounding the alarm isn't going to change anything.
No.
I mean, and that's basically what I just want, because I know that the fans are probably like, well, what can we do? What can we? I don't know. Someone, I see some people are like, well, let's go to the advertisers. And unfortunately, it's just not like.
Yeah.
They don't, and I tell you the reason why they don't care is because look and see how many of their DEI diversity people and their corporation that they got rid of. So if you are not worried about the black and brown and yellow people in your own corporation, why do you care about something that you put your money on advertising on? Because you get your bang for your buck. And I hate to but it's real talk.
We're giving you real talk. You can do whatever you want with this talk. We're just giving you real talk, and just letting you know that from what we see. You go, how do you know this, Walker? Actually, I've been in some of the rooms. I used to work in corporate America, so I do know some of this myself. I've seen it and heard it. I've had plenty of talk. I'm 54 years old. I have not gotten jobs or promotions since I was black in corporate America back in the 90s and 2000s. So I can say for myself, I have personally seen and heard exact words used for people of color in situations. So when they're asking Walker, how do you know?
Go look at Deadline. 5 leading DEI, the diversity inclusion departments in these large. 5 black women were fired over the last 2 weeks.
5 black women, you guys. 5
were in charge of the diversity. So if you don't care about the diversity in your own corporation, what makes you think that they care about what's going on a TV show that you paying $2.50 to put an advertising for?
Exactly.
1 + 1 doesn't equal 5.
Because he did 4. Was it 4? No, it was 5. Right, it was 5. 5 black women. That's it.
Whose job was to do diversity.
Mm-hmm.
Not just like 5 black people. We were just working, Susie was doing this. Their job was to be in charge of diversity for those corporations.
It's great. No, we're just reporting on the news. We're just telling you what we see and what we hear. And if that isn't enough to know, no, those black women shouldn't give up. Those black women should try to get other jobs or do other things or continue to work. There's many things you can do in this industry. We're not saying we're talking about just to give up. We're just telling you, here's information, and we're telling you what we think will work or don't. But you should. If you want to, I would say again, if you want to fight and keep fighting, keep doing it. Like I said, I'm gonna still watch the shows. And I'm still going to talk about it. I think the conversation is very important. I'm going to talk about what I see. So I'm not going to stop doing that myself. I'm not going to stop watching the shows because this is what I do for a living. So I'm saying, you do whatever, you do what you want.
I ain't got time. I got life.
And if we think we're missing the mark here, that's fine. We knew coming on this show that not everybody's going to agree with us.
If y'all want to waste y'all money,
as I said, you do it.
It ain't my money.
Whatever you want, I will still lift you up and support you and feel how you feel. You will definitely. You can disagree with me, but I will always still go. You know what? They're hurt. They're upset. This is what they want. We support that. We're brown folks. I'm always going to support brown people and I always support brown causes. I'm just saying, just think about what it is you think you can do that you think is going to make a change. And so that's what I'm saying.
And I'm just saying, I don't know what it is.
And I'm saying the same thing. I'm saying, I'm admitting I don't know what the fix is going to be. We're just saying from things that we've seen, because we work in the business, what may or may not work.
Do you have any suggestions?
Seriously, if you guys write in and it changes, I hope to be wrong. Please.
Absolutely.
Oh, please. I'd love it. Please prove us wrong.
I'll come back on here.
I love that. Oh my God. If that really worked, if they said, if there was a brownout or whatever, and GH lost 1 million viewers in a week, and they go, wait, what happened? And all of a sudden they write, I want to be wrong. Please. I want to be wrong. Trust me.
Yeah.
I don't want to be just right and everything. I want to be wrong. So you guys can go ahead. We presented the show for you so you can look at it, see what you think. You can not agree with me. You can call me bullshit or whatever. And I don't give your shit. My life will go on. But my thing is, I will always still support you and how you feel, because it's all valid. It is all valid. That's the point. All our feelings, that's what's so funny. We're all feeling the same thing. If you think about it, it doesn't matter what the outcomes are, we all feel the same thing. So that's the problem. And you're right, Curly, there's only 4 subs left, kids. 3 on network and 1 not. And Marsha's bringing up something. This is something that I will always speak on in every area of my life, which I do. You can Google me, I do, for the rest of my life. And so that's why I'm saying, so for us, I will always speak out. I'm not going to never not speak out. I'm always going to. And you should too. But this is happening in real life too, kids. In real life, Black folks are being erased. History's being erased. They're banning books. They're sending Mexicans back to wherever they think they should belong. They're getting rid of drag queens. Like, there's a whole world right now, on screen and off, we all need to be looking at.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And we should still talk. But I will tell you, you can call me names, whatever you want to, whatever. I'm still going to support you. Like I said, a lot of times I told people, I don't get ready. More D Riviera too. You are hilarious to me, because you are just so, you've been against me this whole time. And I will, and that's for me to apologize. I'll just come on and be like, you guys are right. I hope so. I support you more, D Riviera too. I support you. Then what's the point of us watching the show? That's a personal question. If you're saying this show ours or GH, that's up to you, right? That's up to you. Walking Dead got boring for me after a while. I stopped watching it. So, but the show still went on without me. They didn't stop. They have spinoffs now, but I stopped watching it. So if you want to stop watching the show, stop it. I mean, I totally get it. You should spend the time doing what you want to do. But like I said, I will come on this show and be like, you guys were right. Thank you, Jesus. So Jesus, it worked. I'll be happy, because again, we want the same thing. I'm not saying this stuff so you just never get it. I'm not co-signing what they're doing. We want the same thing. We want the exact same thing. And that's equity and equality for all characters on this show. That's all we want. That's all I want. So, but I still support you. So you can call me name, whatever. I still support you. During the whole Black Lives Matter stuff, I didn't fight with Black folks in public. I said, I'm not going to do that. As everybody else do it. I'm still going to support my Black folks. And that's my own choice. I was like, I'm going to support Black folks, and that's just that. Because we need to do that more than dividing. They're already dividing us already all the time. We need to stop playing into that.
And just because we disagree on something doesn't mean that we're enemies.
No, we're not enemies.
And it doesn't mean that I'm against you.
Right. And yes, you guys see it. I always said the fans are not dumb. The fans know what's going on. I know you guys see it. And so my whole thing is, yes, well, more do you realize? Again, I'm on your side, and I want to be wrong. I totally do. I do. Nothing's impossible. You're absolutely correct. Nothing is impossible. And if it changes, I would love that. But I think, we're all on the same page. I think we're all on the same side. Like, exactly, Walker. Yes, exactly. We're on the same side. We're not your enemy. Trust me, we're not the enemy. But we're just giving you some little insight of what we kind of know and don't know. And
I know, why y'all get mad? Y'all act like I got up here and said I want Spencer with Joss. I didn't say no bullshit like that. Calm down.
We love you guys. We love it.
I will say this because because James said, and I guess I do have this thing about being the kumbaya, the soap, whatnot. And I'm just going to say this. If you believe you can make a change, do it.
Yep, do it.
We're not saying, be disappointed and everything. Look, because again, we've watched soaps for so long that it's like a hamster wheel, right? But we do want a change.
We do.
And I'm going to speak for the females out there. We want to see us not being the downsides. We want, especially a dark skin, Black woman. We want to see our heroine. We want to see somebody get a happy ending. We want to see them being in love. We want to see them actually, engaging more on a soap than just being the best friend with a little point of view or the Rachel's biasness of that court scene and stuff like that. It is frustrating for me because I watch soaps to get away from the freaking real world. But sadly, some of that real world has creeped into the soaps and vice versa. And that's where I get frustrated at, because it's like, I know what's going on out there. I know that. But that doesn't mean that it needs to, like, I don't know how I'm going to say this, but I just want to see happiness. I want to see me on this show. I'm living through Trina. If that makes sense a little bit.
Oh, yeah, it makes sense.
You want to escape. You want that hour a day to escape.
Right. Like, I don't want to be frustrated at General Hospital, because Lord knows I am. Right. But like I said, I just want some good writing for this character. I want a payoff for this couple, because I said this to the group a year ago. I said, the world is watching. The world is watching, because this was new. This was exciting. You guys, Sprina Nation, you guys showed up. I'm like, yo, they got a plane. I was like, and I remember, I think, James, you said it, or even Tabiana's mom was so happy.
I said it.
Yeah.
To see her face.
The fact that to see her, now think about this from a mother's point of view. Her baby is on General Hospital, right? Her baby's name, which is, not everybody can get a Tabiana keychain or a Candice keychain either. Just saying. You see her name, and it's like, now she's on People magazine. She's like, potent stuff. That's a big deal. Mm-hmm. But, and I get it, fans. I get it. But don't keep doing what you're doing. Keep the positivity going, you guys. We're not saying, shut it down. If you think you can be a part of the change, go for it.
Yes.
Go for it. But be positive by doing it. Because you got not a lot of fan groups. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you something. Not a lot of fan groups has the privilege to talk to Nicholas and Tabiana on a monthly, weekly, when they pop up in spaces, to know the grandfather and all. Like, you build a community.
Guys,
not a lot of people can do that. And yeah, Frank, Dan, Chris, Varney, the people at ABC higher ups, they don't know. They need to know. They need to know what's really going on too. But we're just telling you, hey, look, behind closed doors, they're just like, yeah, ta-da.
Yeah.
Yeah,
go ahead, please. Go ahead. Please.
No, I'm just not going to tell people to do something, and I'm not going to tell you to go. You all should go write all these postcards and send them all to here. You all should show up. I'm not going to tell you to do these things that I don't think that are going to. That's just me.
Yeah.
I could lie to your face, but I'm not going to lie to your face.
But I'm hopeful. You guys know me. I'm like, I look at everything and I'm like, I can see that hope, because again, there's a lot of people who shut the doors in our faces all the time, right? But James, take a look at you. You started a freaking network.
Yes.
You was a part of the change. Mm-hmm. Walker, you've done stuff that you were a part of the change. I've done stuff. So it's like, yeah, it's up to you guys what you want to do. I will say that. But just make sure you understand that there's some people who are going to shut the door and keep it moving on their end. That's what I'm saying. You can still, I think we're saying the same thing, but,
And for me, my commitment to this is not going to end on this show. Like I said, I have a track record. I will always speak out on race. I will always have Black actors on my shows, because a lot of Black actors don't even get asked to be on a lot of shows. But I have them on my shows. I will continue to do that. I will continue to support Sprina. I will continue to support Trina. I will continue to support all of this. I'm going to continue doing it. And I'm going to continue doing it in ways of having shows like this, or interviewing them, or calling out stuff on Twitter. Like, I'm going to continue doing that. And that's my, and supporting you and lifting you up in whatever it is you choose to do also. We just want you to be safe and sane. Make sure it's something that you can handle and that you can do. That's all we want. That's all. But if you believe you can make a change, then go do it.
Yeah.
If you believe you can do it, then go, and then please go out there and do it. I will still lift you up and support you and look out for you. So that's how I view this whole thing for me. That my commitment is still to Sprina Nation, to great portrayals of Black folks on shows. I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue to do that. I mean, that's just not going to end.
And I'll continue to, be able to answer any questions or help guide, the nation with any questions that they have, like I have been doing,
Yeah. Our commitments are real to you guys.
No.
We're not done. Our commitments are real. I appreciate every single person that's coming.
Because if we didn't care, it's Friday
we wouldn't
night.
have done it.
I wouldn't be sitting here on a Friday night.
Same here.
The men's to go see. Like, okay.
I'm here.
I'm here.
I would have been on Twitter Space.
I don't got nobody, but something else.
I
But
would have been on Twitter Space and eating food.
Yes. No, but the three of us, we felt so strongly about this. We wanted to come on.
Yeah.
So, but you have your opinions. Feel what you feel. We support it completely. That's fine. There's no, it's fine with us. But I appreciate you guys coming in, and everyone in here has been very, very cool. I have to say this. Everyone's been very cool, and I've seen no problems. People are just sharing their opinions, and I love that. And conversation and communication is always the first. Always the first. We have somebody from Trinidad. Hey, Trinidad, and my Caribbean people.
Hey.
But that's the thing, is I think people, it starts with a conversation, and they'll be able to have everybody talk about it. And that's why I love this. And so that's what I try to do.
And that's something I think has been missing. I don't want to name any people because I don't know the person, but like there's just someone who's just been antagonizing people with their tweets. I don't care. I don't care. Jay Bernard, I don't know Jay Bernard personally, but I do know that he's been like antagonizing and getting people upset. And I just feel like there's a way to have these discussions that aren't. Just like I said, we can disagree, and we don't have to see everything the same and not be enemies.
I agree.
I think we're all at the end of the day we want the same thing.
And like somebody said, we're all Black. Most of us are in here. We're all Black at the end of the day. So I'll always root for Black. Like Issa Rae said, I'm rooting for everybody Black. I love that line. I'm rooting for everybody Black. I am. Oh, he's heinous. Give us some tea, folks. He's heinous. I blocked him. I muted him. Oh yeah, he's something else. Go follow me. I think I muted him too. I blocked him a long time ago. But yes, but no. I'll always try to be a positive force in this situation and add something that could be used, but not try to add some discourse. I mean, this doesn't help any. But I just think we're here to hear everybody's opinions. It's just that I think it's wonderful. Hey, Joe, we're here yesterday from the 3rd to the 5th. Oh, funny. I just think it's an important conversation, and we'll always bet on Black. Okay, girl, that's right. Now I know that we say Black by popular demand. Thank you, everybody. Thanks. My favorite. I'll be right Black. Those are my favorites. My kids hate when I do that, but I always do that. But no, we are all under the same thing, and we just felt like we wanted to talk to you guys. Again, 147 people. I am humbled by that. Say on a Friday night, I am humbled by this. That you guys decide to spend your time with us also. If we all can do something else, and we're all here together. So think Blackity Black. I always say it all the time. Blackity Black, 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 Black. That's right, Curly D. I was like all the time. I'm getting more militantly Black as I get older anyway. I'm like, ooh. And I want to say hi to Donald Peoples, who's in here, who's doing a whole Black. We had a show on
Donald.
We had our show on race and soaps last month. Check that out. Me and Donald Peoples Jr. We did that too. So I'm always talking about it. So our Twitter handles. Okay, well first, Candice Mack, tell me what your Twitter handle is.
You guys know me at Candy Poo on Twitter. Hi.
They're asking on here. So it's Candy Poo. As like
Yep.
Poo?
Yep.
Poo?
Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Walker, well, you're kind of on Twitter, but you're kind of
not.
No,
y'all don't want to engage with me.
Follow
them. Y'all don't want to engage with me.
Mm.
Well, I'm James Lott Jr., so I mean, I'm everywhere. I'm James Lott Jr. at everything, everywhere, all the time. We're all James DeSaul and James Lott Jr. So just go ahead and find me there. So, it's kind of, there you go. Since it's not an option. But go ahead, do something, please. We're not telling you not to do that. We just give you our opinions, and you please.
I will say that the plane did have a positive effect.
Yeah, the plane did work.
The plane did work.
It did work.
Now,
that's what I'm saying.
That billboard in New York.
That did not.
That didn't work.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I was like surprised by it.
It's amazing, impressive, but like something has shifted, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, there's something has shifted with the network and with the show that they aren't as receptive as they once were, and that's all I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say like the plane absolutely was a win.
Yes.
But there's something has shifted, and I don't know what has shifted, but there has clearly been a shift in how the network sees the fandom and how the show sees the couple. I mean, hell, it's in the writing.
It's in the writing.
I don't know what that is. I wish I knew, but I don't.
And we're admitting I don't know what the next step is to get you guys heard. I'm fully admitting that. I don't know.
I wish I had the answer.
I wish I had the answer too. I wish I had the answer. We're just giving you information, and there we go. But we all agree something weird has happened behind the scenes.
And also, the timing is just terrible. Like with the writer's strike, I just don't like with those scripts. I don't know what's already been written, what they are allowed to fix. It's just there's a lot of like behind the scenes messiness
that we don't know about.
That also kind of contributes to like if this was like regular times and Dan and Chris were fully in charge and there's no strike and that then I would say that maybe the strategy could be this. But when you have 5 core writers coming in and then you have scripts that are already like so you got to fight. They got to fight their vision with what's already written. Like there's just so much that is why I'm giving you like I don't know, because it's just there's so much uncertainty going on in the business by itself at this particular moment, and it's unfortunate. It's just that the timing's terrible.
I agree. Like with David, there's some questionable stuff happening. I'm not privy. That part I'm not privy to either. But there's something, like you said, they were building up, and all of a sudden left turn.
It just went,
So there's some stuff that we don't know. But like I said, we don't have the answer. I wish I could say, here's the 5 things you can do to make it better. We don't know. We're just telling you, here's what we know, here's what we think. Take or leave, however that works for them, or what you think that is. But we do believe race is involved. The 3 of us, we do believe that there's something racially going on there, but there's some bias going on there.
Yeah, it's biased.
So, there's some bias going there. So please, share your feelings, what you gotta do. And if it works, please, I seriously will come back on and go, thank you guys, it worked. I would love it. I love it for it to work. But we all know, and as Black folks or brown folks or gay folks or wherever we are, you always fight. Everybody fights. You keep fighting. You never just give up. I'm not going to roll over either. But we should just. I'm going to continue. But I don't know what the answer is to make it better. I don't have the answer. I just don't have the answer. But race is sadly involved. You're right, Girl Trees. Race is sadly involved.
Oh yeah.
That's one thing we can totally go on. It's just completely. That's just what it is. But we don't.
It's just like question mark. It's like question mark of like, how do we get from we started here, now we're here. Like what happened in the middle?
So and like we said, Dana Savory, there are favorites on shows. That happens. Like I got a job. There are favorites at jobs. There are. It could be, So,
but even though that there are favorites, it's not like, and I'm not excusing the show, but it's not like there's a storyline or there's a couple that's getting amazing shit, and then and this fandom's not getting anything.
Right.
I don't feel like anyone's getting anything on the show.
Right.
No.
Like across the board, I don't think anyone is happy.
Well, well, a lot of fans in here, obviously, it's this big Jex thing that's been brought up in this whole chat, this whole night.
Oh yeah, I avoided.
That's why I would comment, because I actually like Jex. I'm sorry, folks, if that makes you hate me. I like the couple. I don't mind it, and whatever. But I want Sprina to have equal time.
Time.
That's what I'm saying. I want equal. I want.
It's unbalanced. It's unbalanced on the show for certain people.
I agree, guys. It's unbalanced. It's totally unbalanced. The show is. I want Chase and Brooklyn to have a big storyline. I mean, I want. There's certain things I want. So I don't. But I do believe race plays a part of all of it in terms of who they're showcasing. I think that's what it is.
I want Emmy winner Kate Manzi to have an actual story versus no.
That was shade.
I almost said something and I was like,
Walker and I.
We'll talk off. Yeah, I can't give that to you. Because I know exactly what that was about. I'm leaving that alone.
What this is about.
But my thing is, I want equal treatment for everybody. That's what I want, and I want Sprina to have. I want the balance, and that writing to RN2. I agree with you. There's a lack of balance. There's just a lack of balance. Yeah. And like I said, I brought up Ava and Austin. They've been together for 2 seconds. They're not even together, and they had sex. That's where my brain went. Wait a minute. They had sex, and they just got together. I mean, it tracks for Ava's character and blah blah. But Sprina haven't had sex yet. That's where I was like, there's something wrong. There is something wrong.
And also, I was watching those fight scenes. That boy only hit him twice. Why he act like he got beat up by 20 people?
I know.
He was still laying on the ground, and then he hit him twice.
Yeah.
And they're not even. Spencer Cassadine would not even be fighting up in. No. First, he would not even be in that bar.
No, he wouldn't be there.
He wouldn't be in the bar in the first place, and he wouldn't be fighting like that.
Yes. Both the two ships can coexist. I totally agree with that. Yeah, I can totally agree with that, and I think that's the problem. And I think you all agree with me. Last Thursday and Friday, both were just like, what? That's what got me talking. It was like, all these scenes make no sense. None of this makes sense. Or all these scenes are completely biased. That's what I was like. They're 100% Walker. That's right. Because they said they agree with you, Walker. He cuts people down with his words. That is Spencer, right? Spencer always talked down to people. He wasn't this fighter.
No. He would that's townie behavior. That's not even something that he would even like.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like I think we're all going, something's off. I guess I don't know either, but something's off. But I
just don't get it.
But it's completely not even. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, come on, folks. It is not even. And that's why I started going, I'm going to say something on Sunday. And that's what I'm like. Spencer's not a fighter. I agree.
And I think that's where a lot of animosity is coming between the fan bases, is because they're seeing that it's unevenness.
Yes.
And so like you blame like, oh, well, it's how come they get this? And the show's doing that. If you want that fan base to be that fandom to or coupling to work, you're doing it a disservice by having in a situation where it's not equal, where people are always constantly like, because I can't see a day without them being mentioned up as like a reason. Like if you do it across the board, then there's no reason for anyone to like be mad. If they're going to be in the bed, let them be in the bed.
Oh my goodness, I wonder if AI is involved.
AI probably better.
I almost said that. I said, you probably should go to AI and make a write me a love story for Sprina and Sprina. They probably write a better love story, kids. They probably write a better love story. Shit.
It's just like it's the investment. It's just when you're rooting for a character or a couple and you're so invested. And for me, I haven't been invested in a couple in a hot minute. Like since actually gone like Eswell Turns days. I have not been that invested in a couple. So when I see a couple or a character that I'm invested in, I want to go along for the journey. I'm there. You pulled me in, you put me in, and it's like, like roadblock. And you get frustrated. So, GH.
Well, we're going to end it here. We've been on for 2 hours. They'll come through AI. I was like, hey, shit, it might do a better job. Send it in. I know some of your fan fiction probably do a better job than what they're doing right now, too. So,
heck yeah. Heck yeah. And I've read some of them.
Yes, I'm sure. Like, woo. But no, I want to thank you guys. Seriously, thank you guys for coming in and spending the time with us for the last 2 hours. And that's I don't take that for granted whatsoever. All of you, I'm happy you guys are here. Make sure you hit the like button if you like us. If you don't like me, hit the unlike button too. It's fine. That's fine. I'll read the mean tweets later. Make sure you also, if you want to comment below, you will be able to comment below in the comments. Please comment. I want to hear what you have to say. Also, if you have more to say. Anybody watching this later? Hello, glad you're watching it later. It's here too. And also, I seriously want to thank Walker and Candice for coming on and doing this with me. You guys are my family, so you guys know that. So I'm very happy. You guys for your honesty. And
yeah, I don't think I said anything that's going to get me in trouble.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
I
You don't
probably,
know until later sometimes.
But I'm waiting to end this so we can really get to the
Yeah, we'll get into it in a second. But the whole thing is Walker has some great insights. Walker is my favorite people, and he doesn't do this very often, folks. But for the black folks, he showed up. He showed up for you guys. We love you guys very much, and we'll probably do this again. But this Sunday, I'll be on doing GH3 Spotlight with Frank Moran. So
and check those emails, Frank. Let us know what the number is, because I have a bet going on.
I forgot last week to ask.
And I think maybe the next time we're all together will be Emmys.
You tell me. I was like, how you talk? You tell me.
Look, if not, if they just go ahead and say, via social media, the Emmys, I'll be on with you guys to talk about the, winners. But next year, I'll definitely be there for the 51st annual Daytime Emmy Awards, live from Radio City Music Hall on CBS.
So I definitely don't think it's going to be social media, because you're not giving Susan Lucci that award.
Oh God, right. I know.
If you're not, like, if you can't do that whole Susan Lucci video package, you like that's it's happening.
I want to give a shout out to DC Smoke Sanctuary. Hi, I know he's in the chat. He does stuff.
Hey, what's up, DC?
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Sprina Nation. Hi,
Sprina Nation.
Hi, Ashley.
Black women, I got your back. Trust me, I got your back. No matter what's going on, I got your back. It's always going to be that way. So, but
I'm going to give a shout out too, Courtney, Daphne, to everybody who's watching. My aunt.
Okay, I love you guys. It's not an acceptance speech, girl. Okay, we're done.
I'd like to thank Erna Phillips for creating this genre. I'd like to thank Agnes Nixon.
Now we're done. Okay.
And William J. Bell.
And thank Soul Party 401, her co-host. She's not even thanking them. She's like, whatever.
I wasn't gonna fake them. You try to rub me off. I actually had a whole speech for them too. And my
dog is happening.
And my cast and crew. Take Two Radio.
What did Kathy Griffin say? Wrap it up, lady.